Good day, everyone. Hello, we are going to study again, and I'm so thankful that you are always with me, you're studying with me. And today we will be talking about conceptual framework and definition of terms, our week 6 in practical research. So we will be focusing on that, and our learning competencies are we are expected to illustrate and explain the conceptual framework and define terms used in the study. So that is our learning competencies. And also, we are going to study in this one, what is a framework. As I have told you, a framework is similar to skeleton. It is the basic structure or a frame of reference. Yes, skeleton gives shape, form, and strength to the body so it can stand erect. So do the different concepts and theories. These concepts and theories serve as the building blocks for the foundation or basis of the study. So in doing a research, you need first to make your framework, and we call that conceptual framework. So that's why I have discussed on my previous video on how to make your research by starting to make a conceptual framework. And this time we're going to review, and this time I have made a just an example on how to do with the conceptual framework. So conceptual framework is the first thing to do because it's the skeleton, it's the basis, it's the guide, it's the compass. Yeah, it will give you direction as a writer. So this is the conceptual framework that we're going to make. It's very good when you make a conceptual framework because it can be done without theory. Here, construct can be done even without a theory. Yes, that's really true. You can make a conceptual framework by your own choice, even though you don't have any theory to be used there. Still, you can start making your conceptual framework as a writer. So, conceptual framework, it is a researcher's formulated framework. Yes, as a writer, you have the right and you have your own decision, you have your own choice to make or what concepts or ideas you're going to use in your study. But first, you need to make a framework, a skeleton. So, here, uh, on the intellectual synthesis of the various readings, yes, conceptual frameworks is the summary of all the readings that you have in um, in your study. It means to say you cannot make a conceptual framework unless uh, you will have much readings and you have spent much time in reading. So after reading a lot of books, articles, and everything related to your topic, you have to start first making the conceptual framework. So here it is. Conceptual framework. I have started. I have given you this example. The title is The Effect of Online Selling to the Sales of the Thrift Clothing Store in Bata Bacolod City 2020. So I think, in my opinion, the WH information has been given here, and it's short, consists of 10 to 15 words. This is just my example. And then we're going to dissect the title into two. We have to identify. We have to identify which one is the independent variable and which one is the dependent variable. So in this title, I have decided and I have determined that the online selling here, online selling is the independent variable which will affect the dependent variable which is the sales. Okay, it means to say online selling is the influencing factor of the sales. So that is how I comprehend or understand my study. So under online selling, I have decided and I have chosen these three subtopics: online selling. I'm thinking about the privacy and security risks, yes, in online selling, and technological capability of my company. How can my company be competitive in terms of technology? So I'm thinking like that. And then customers trust online. I'm also considering the customers trust online. And these factors and this variable online selling will affect the sales of my company, Dane Street Clothing Store. The sales will be affected. Okay, under sales, I have made three subtopics: the performance of the sales, the promotion for sales, and the profitability of the sales. That is my own choice as a writer, that those concepts will guide me throughout my entire study. So I will begin uh, my research by writing the background of the study and the rest of the parts of the research, but I need to base all my writings in this map, in this conceptual framework, in this skeleton. Okay, so when you see when when you see this one as a writer, you can directly get, okay, you can directly get the entire image of what the research will be, right? You will see the entire content of the research. So the Google Scholar will help me to explore all these ideas, concepts, because Google Scholar, I think, is the easiest and convenient way of searching the online databases, online libraries. You can find there in Google Scholar. So when you type Google Scholar, there Google Scholar will appear, and then here scholar.google.com, you can also type this one. It's the same. Just type Google Scholar and it will appear, and you can search there in the libraries the topics, articles that are related to your study. Okay, so that is it. After making conceptual framework, you can now draw. You can make a paradigm. Just put it into drawing, make illustrations. As what I have done, I have made illustrations from my study so that the readers will see the entire concept that you will be giving in your research, that you will be putting in your research. A paradigm means the result of a clear understanding of the conceptual or theoretical framework. Yes, and that is a diagrammatic presentation. It means to say you will put into images, drawings, illustrations, the entire concept that you wanted to explain in your research. And these are the models that you can use. Maybe you can use these models: the IPO model, input, process, output. Input, here is IPO model is usually used when your research problem or the statements of the problem are all factor isolating questions. Okay, and then you can also draw, you can illustrate your paradigm like this one, the IV and the DV pattern or model. You can also use this also. And then another model. You can also use predictor criterion model if you want. It's really up to you. Take time to read. That's it. The predictor criterion model, and this is a model also if you are proposing a program. The sample P model of a proposed program for improved quality service of entrepreneurs. If you are proposing something, a program to be done in order to maybe to improve like this, to improve the quality service of entrepreneurs, you can use this kind of model. And also, if you have really your own original model, you can also use this. These are examples of paradigm illustration, and also called illustration or images that will present your concept. And now we are on the definition of terms. Yes, all I can say is definition of terms is very easy because you need only to uh, define the words that you are using in your study. It is called conceptual definition if you get your definition, the meaning of the word from books and dictionaries. So that is conceptually defined. You will say also that it is operationally defined when you are using or defining the words, giving the meaning of the words based on how it is really used in your study. Okay, it's like practical definition. You are giving the meaning of the word based on the ideas or concepts that is really being used in your study. It is opposite with the conceptual definition because it is conceptual definition when you get the meaning from books and dictionaries. So it's up to you. This is the one of the example conceptual. Here is the conceptual definition. The meaning has been gotten from book, I think. A group of behaviors fueled by unresolved emotional conflicts resulting in altered food consumption. Yes. Operational definition, as I have told you, it will be based on how you really use the word. How you really use the word in your research. Okay, it pertains to the kind of food, frequency of eating, and the amount of intake or the consumption. That's it. The very simple one. Thanks for studying with me for the week 6. See you on week 7.